So I recently closed a new AI client who happened to be a plumber, and like exactly what I did, I'm going to cover, basically go over how I started the interaction. So how I started talking to him, what I had to do to actually close the deal, and I'll walk through the deal and I'll walk through the contract that I did with him as well. And, just so you guys can see like how I structured all of that. Tip, I did use Rob's the Innovating with AI proposal generator to start the contract, and then I modified it from there. But just, yeah, I love that. If you haven't used that yet, please do, if you're within Innovating with AI. All right, cool. So I need to move all this stuff. Everything's weird. If you hear beeping or if somebody wants to come in, please let me know if I miss it, if I miss out on it. So yeah, I don't have like any slides or anything. Like I didn't prepare for this. So I just wanted this to be like a story. Like, hey, this is what I did. And if you guys have any questions as we go through this, obviously there's just the two of you and me, so the three of us here. So please just ask if you want to. But yeah, so I can get started on exactly what happened. So my offer, and one of the things that I can do, obviously there's a lot of different things, but one of the things that I like to start with when I'm talking to somebody is specifically like lead generation. So that's something that I do pretty well, is get leads for people using different AI tools. So what happened to get started? So on April, or what was the exact date? Hold on. It was March 17th. So on March 17th, so a little over a month ago, what I did is I had a plumbing emergency at my house. The plumber installed something a while ago. When they put in a vent, they screwed right through the vent, right into a water pipe. Now, nothing happened at that time, so like nothing drilled through, but over the course of about a year, it slowly started dripping out. And I noticed that there was a huge stain with some black mold. And I was like, okay, this is a problem. So I was like, okay, this is more than I can deal with. Like, I don't want to touch black mold. I don't know what's going on, but it was somewhere near somebody did work about a year ago on it. So I was like, I don't know if this is related or not, but I'm not going to mess with it. So I pulled out my phone and I looked through. I was like, okay, I know that I've had some plumbers in the past before. So I found a plumber. His name is Omar. So it said Omar Plumber Good. And I was like, okay, this is probably not the guy that installed this. I think it was somebody else. So I was like, all right. So it was 7:30 p.m. at night. So I was like, hey, you know what? If he's a good plumber, we'll see if he answers. I don't know. If not, I'll leave a voicemail. So I gave him a call and he answered right away. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I'll have somebody over to your house the next day. So the next day at 10 a.m., and I told him that this was not an emergency. So the next day at 10 a.m., he had a crew. Now, he did not personally come, but two people from his crew came. They came, looked at the issue, diagnosed it. They unscrewed it. It started pouring water out. They're like, yeah, this is a problem. Somebody screwed right through a water pipe and it's been slowly dripping. And that's how you got that black mold over the course of last year. So they fixed everything and they did everything right then on the spot, fixed it, took care of it, 100% good to go. The pricing was fair. And I was like, this was awesome. Like, this is really cool. I was like, I wonder if Omar advertises at all. So like, how does he get his leads? Like, is it through referrals? Does he do any advertising? So I was thinking a little bit about that. So later on that day, so the second day, so this would have been March 18th. So the day after that they came, I gave Omar a call. I was like, hey, your crew is out at my house today. Now he answered the phone. So I was like, hey, your crew is out at my house. They did a really good job. And he was kind of skeptical at first. He's like, oh no, what happened? Like, is everything okay? Is there any issues or whatever? And I was like, no. This was great. Like your crew was awesome. They were very fair on pricing. This was a great interaction. Like, I really appreciate, you getting to me so quickly, even though I didn't say this was an emergency. I really appreciate your hard work and your guys are great. Like, what do you, and then I started asking him a little bit about, like, what do you do for marketing? Like, how are you offering your services? How do you get your current customers and how do you get your leads? So I kind of moved the conversation and asked specific targeted questions where I could position myself as a potential potentially work with him. So I started talking to him a little bit about that, and he started opening up about his company. So it's like, oh yeah, I don't get any leads. Everything I do is through referrals, but I recently had shoulder surgery, and I have to say that very slow. So like I recently had shoulder surgery, so I'm not able to go out on as many jobs, but I'm looking to actually grow my business so I don't have to be the person that goes and does this. I've been working my ass off for about 15 years now. Like he's a master plumber. He has 15 years of experience in the field. And he's like, I had my surgery specifically because I'm working my ass off so much and I want to not do that as much. So that's why I have a crew. So I have a crew of a couple people now. I want to get more people and I want to hire more people and I want to expand my company so it's not just me. So right now, everyone knows him as Omar the Plumber, not like his actual company name. And I'm not going to say the company name here, and I'm going to keep most of this kind of vague when I get to specifics so I can talk about this publicly. And I haven't gotten permission from him specifically yet to talk about his company. So that's why I'm not saying his company name or anything during this recording. But yeah, so he's been doing this about 15 years and he's like, yeah, I just want to grow. So it's not me doing all of the work, because it's, you know, backbreaking labor. It's labor intensive. 15 years, it's tough for me. So that's what I want to do. And I was like, well, you know, are you working with anybody right now for like business growth or sales or marketing or anything? And he said, no, he's not working with anyone. He did say that a bunch of people have been like talking to him. He's like, I've been around 15 years. You know, I have a crew, I have trucks, I have all this stuff. And a lot of people have been coming to me about like marketing and advertising, but they're all cold people. I don't know any of them. I don't know anyone that's been looking into doing this. So, hold on, does somebody want in? Oh yeah, here. Oh yeah, I know this. We got Ollie coming in. What's up, Ollie? It says Daniel. His name is Ollie. It's okay. Anyway, so I was talking to him about that, and he was specifically telling me like, no, I just don't know who to trust. I don't know anybody. I get a lot of cold emails. I get a lot of people that call me that want to do my marketing, that want to do my advertising. I just haven't, because I don't trust anyone. So like he said trust probably 5 or 6 times in that very first phone call. So I knew that that's something that I had to specifically talk about, or like an objection, and not necessarily an objection, but just something that I knew was important to him. So everything that I did moving forward after that point, I knew that trust was something important to him. So I had to make sure that I talked about how maybe not like directly like, oh, I'm trustworthy, but I had to make him believe in me, and then, you know, like how he can trust me with his business, essentially. So after that first call, he was like, yes, this is something that I'm interested in learning more about. You know, I'd love to set up a time to talk. Okay, awesome. That was touch point number one, is he told me he was interested and that I was a client of his. So it's like, okay, like there's a little bit of trust there, because he was in my house, or like his crew was in my house that day. So, you know, there's obviously trust. He knows where I live. He has my address. So after I talked to him about that, he's like, yes, I'm interested. And I knew that I had a little bit of that trust with him, at least started. So it's like, okay, this is a point that I can move forward with. So I got that trust. We set up a call. Oh yeah, Ollie, give me 1 second. Let me just finish this part and then I can recap real fast. So I gave him a call, or yeah, we talked, and he's like, yes, I'm interested. Let's move forward. So I had the BAM fam. This is something that somebody teaches, is, you know, book a meeting from a meeting. So at the end of that call, I was like, okay, I'm not going to just be like, oh yeah, we'll talk later. It's like, okay, when can we talk next? So set a specific time of when to talk to him next. So I forget what day of the week that was, but it was like either like 2 or 3 days later or 2 or 3 business days later. It's like, okay, I'll give you a call at this date and this time. So like maybe Monday at like 11 or 12 or
for master's
whatever it was. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no worries. So I booked a call right away on that for the next call, or to set up another call. Okay, so before I move on to that, real quick recap here for Ollie. So Ollie, I'm just talking about the $750 retainer client that I posted about in the school community not that long ago for the consulting services. He was a plumber. And I'm just talking about the story of how I interacted with him. So I had a plumbing emergency. I called him. He sent his crew out. They did awesome work. I called him to compliment his crew, saying, hey, your crew did awesome. Everyone was really great. And what are you doing for marketing and services and lead gen and stuff like that? If he does anything with AI.
I'm actually curious. Sorry, because it was actually funny when I actually saw your post. I was thinking like, did you purposely create a plumbing problem for someone to come in and then?
No,
Yeah.
I did not purposely create a plumbing problem, but I took advantage of every situation that I had.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into the story of another one, but I recently had my roof done a few months ago, and guess what? You know who one of my clients is? That roofer.
Yeah. But I mean,
so I just talk to people and and it works. So I'm not going to get into the roofer client, but so like somebody comes into my house, they're a service-based business. Now my target market is gyms. That's who I'm going after. I have gymlaunch.ai is my website. That is who I primarily market, sales, and go to. But if somebody's coming into my house, or if I have a business owner that I'm talking to, of course I'm going to talk about my services. So yes, I am niching down on gyms. That's what I go after. But if somebody else is interested, or if I have a prospect that I talk to that it's something that I could help them out with, and they can give me money, like, why not help them if that's something that I can do? So it's like, yes, that's my target, but I'm still going to get other clients this way if it comes up. So, all right. So that was a real quick recap. All right. So that was first touch point, was booking a meeting for the next week, or like a couple business days later. So that couple business days later, at the agreed upon time, now a couple hours before that, I texted him, hey, are we still good to talk at like 11, later on today, or whatever it was? So like the specific time that we agreed upon. Hey, we still good to talk? He did not reply to that text message. So I called him at the scheduled time, and he was like, hey, thank you for giving me a call. I'm actually really busy right now. I'm at a job. I can't talk, but I do want to talk to you. So can you please give me a call back tomorrow? Okay, no problem. Gave him a call back tomorrow. The exact same thing happened. Hey, I'm at a job. I'm busy. I can't talk. Give me a call tomorrow. So I was like, okay, is he just blowing me off? So then the third time, now I don't know if it was the next day or if it was like 2 days later, but the third time I called him, which would have been after 2 follow-ups, so it would have been the third follow-up from the initial call, he didn't answer. So it went to voicemail, and I didn't leave a voicemail because we agreed upon the time already. So it's like, hey, this exact time. He didn't answer. So I called him, didn't answer, send him a text message right after. It's like, hey, are we still on for this time? You can give me a call, I'm available. Didn't hear from him he didn't reply. Then it was about 4 hours later, 4 or 5 hours, it was later on in the day, I did get a text message back from him. And he was like, hey, I'm sorry. My life is just crazy busy right now. I am interested. So he expressed that I am interested in talking to you. It's just very difficult with time-wise right now. Can we talk sometime next week? It's like, okay. So like basically a full week of just following up and getting nowhere from him. So it's like, okay, cool. So I called him, again, at the time that we agreed upon, and he answered. It's like, okay, great. So then we talked for a few more minutes. So actually, we actually had some talking that time. So I talked to him a little bit about, like what he wanted to do. So a little bit more in detail. I would say this is like a high-end discovery call, not like a super deep discovery, but more of a high-end discovery. It's like, where do you want to go? Like, where are you at right now? So like finding that point, and Atena talks a lot about this, Ali. It's like, when you do the discovery call, it's like, where are you at right now and where do you want to be? So it's like, so what is the gap? What's missing? And that's where I would plug myself into what's missing. Like, what can I do, or my services, or what can I offer that would move between where he is to where he wants to be? So that's why I asked him, like, what are you doing right now? How are you getting leads right now? Are you doing anything with AI currently? Are you automating anything? How are you talking to people? All that stuff, like your website. And I took a look at his website, and I was like, your website isn't great. I tried to book an appointment, and I got an error message on your Calendly. So like your Calendly isn't even set up. So people can't book an appointment. They have to call you. So that brings down that trust factor if somebody does go to your website. And he was like, oh, I didn't even know it was broken. It's like, thank you for telling me. It's like, oh man, how long has this been broken, right? So like, how many leads has he missed because he had a broken website and he didn't even know. So instantly on that first call, I'm bringing value, like right away, like, hey, there's a problem that you didn't know about. Like, okay, so now I have a little bit more credibility and a little bit more trust because I did my homework, about the client. I looked into him. I looked into his business. I looked into everything. So that way, when I got to that call, I could ask him those specific targeted questions about how he wants to grow. So after I talked to him a little bit about that, asked him where he's at right now and where he wants to be. Turns out, he just gave me more detail about how he wants to grow. He doesn't want to do this anymore. He's training the crew, stuff like that. But he's having problems that he can't go out because of his shoulder. So he couldn't go out very much. So he's been sending people on jobs, and he's basically just in the background, answering calls and, talking to the owners and basically kind of being like the project manager at home while his crews are actually out doing the work. And he said he wants to do more of that because he doesn't want to be out in the field. So just getting more understanding. And then he asked about me and what I've been doing. So I talked about some of my current clients, and I was very open and upfront with him. I was like, look, I primarily help out gyms. I don't have any plumber clients. So if this is something that you would want to do, move forward with, with me. I don't have any plumber clients currently, but I do have a roofer client. I do have some service-based business clients, but most of them are gyms. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. So it was more about the trust and like who I was, and not necessarily that I had clients that were plumbers. It actually might have been better that I didn't have any plumber clients, because those would be direct competitors to him if it was in like the Denver area. So I think he might have liked that a little bit more, that I didn't have any. Anyway, so talked to him a little bit about that. And then he was like, okay, this sounds great. Like, I got to go. Like, I'm at a job. I've been waiting for a few minutes. So I wasn't able to like get like an exact close or anything at that point in time. But I did say like, okay, this is great. This is something that you want to do. You do not have a Facebook presence. So he does not have anything on Facebook right now. He does not have an Instagram. He has a website that is like, okay. Like, yeah, and it's kind of broken. So the Calendly is broken. So it's not a great website. So he doesn't have any of like the backbone infrastructure set up for growth, to at least get his name or his branding out there. So once I learned all of that, I was like, okay, great. How about we do this? How about we set you up on, let's schedule another call, and I'll bring my business partner into the mix. My business partner specializes in meta ads. So if this is something that you want to grow with, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to set you up with a Facebook business account. We're going to need to set you up with an Instagram account. And then we're going to also need to set you up with some meta ads to get that going. And he was like, yeah, I'm interested in learning more. Happy to talk to you and him about it. So we officially scheduled a real discovery call to go into detail about exactly what he's looking to do. So not like a high end, like an actual deep call that we had scheduled. So we scheduled that call, and pretty much the exact same thing happened as before. We scheduled the call. We called them. So like I got on a 3-way call with my partner, Sean. So we got on the call. It's like, yeah, ring in. He's like, hey, I'm really busy. I'm at a job right now. I can't talk. Now, again, that happened 2 times again. So like we scheduled the call. He said he was interested. We called him. He answered and said he can't talk. Or he didn't answer, but he always texted me back. And I think that's one of the things that is different. Like a lot of times you won't get those text backs from the client, but I knew he was interested because he always texted me back, hey, I saw you called. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Something came up, whatever, whatever. So he wasn't fully blowing me off like a ghost, but he at least said that he was still interested. Yeah, follow up until they unsubscribe. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, and I'll go through the actual number here in a second of like how many days that I had to like reach out to him. So either a call or a text message within like the 30, I think it was like 35 days between the first time I talked to him until he actually signed the contract. So I'll share that number here in a minute. So eventually we did get on the phone with him. So Sean and I got on the phone, 3-way call. Okay, we're good. Like, let's have an official call. So we called, asked him a few questions. During that call, that we finally, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th time, like that we scheduled like the official discovery call, where he actually showed up and said, okay, I do have time to talk. So during that call, he got 3 calls from his team. So he was listening, like, okay, yeah, answering questions. Like, hey, hold on, I got a call from my team. And then like we would wait like 2 minutes. And then he came back. He's like, okay, all right, I'm good. And then we call. So the discovery call was broken up 3 times, which isn't great, like for the mindset and for like the flow of the call and just get everything together. It was very choppy, just because he had to go so many times. And it's like, man, like, do we even really want to work with this person? Like, is this person really interested? Like, they seem that they are, but they're kind of blowing us off. So we weren't sure what we wanted to do. But at the end of that call, he's like, look, everything that you guys are saying, I'm very interested in. So we did talk about like, how we would help him like set up his Facebook account. We'd help him set up his Instagram account. We'd help him set up, some AI tools like ManyChat to help auto reply to, Instagram and Facebook for him. We talked about lead generation. So how we would get leads, somebody hitting his landing page, or we could search leads. And then we talked about how we would automate like reach out for his current clients. So obviously he's been in the business for 15 years. So he has a huge book of clients. And right now he gets all of his clients from repeat customers or referrals, but he's not doing anything to reach out to them to ask for referrals or to see if they have any new issues. So like, spring is here. It's like, hey, winter is just about done. Like, what are you doing for the pipes? Do you want to de-winterize? All of that stuff, any spring promotions, stuff like that. He's not doing anything. So like literally zero advertising, zero marketing, zero lead gen, nothing at all. It's all 100%. And that's why, like, after we talked to him for a little while, we asked him the appropriate questions about like where he wants to be and where he's at right now. So he knows, or he learned that what he needed to do as he moved forward. Like, okay, these are the things that I'm not doing that I should do that Dan can help me with. Dan and Sean can help me with. So after that call, which was very, scattered and, not blowing up, but like scattered and, dropping to talk to his crew and everything. He's like, look, everything that you guys are talking about, like the lead gen, the Instagram, the Facebook, stuff like that, I like it. I want to see some examples of some stuff that you've done for other clients. So trust right there. So he's asking, like, I want to trust you. Give me a little bit of proof just so I can trust you. So he asked for that with other clients. And he said that, he wants us to send him that information. He wants to learn a little bit more, but he absolutely is interested in moving forward to the next step. He's like, this is something that I feel like I could work with you on. And I had that soft close. So at the end of that call, I asked the soft close question, which basically, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's like something along the lines of, look, you said that you like everything. If we can present a solution to you that the pricing is within your budget or what you're looking to do, and it can solve these problems and get you to where you want to be, would you want to move forward with us? And that, as a soft close question, he said yes. So like right there, it's like, okay, cool. If we can present him the right solution and if the budget is right, he will move forward. So at least I know that he's interested, and it wasn't like a hard close, and I didn't ask for money or anything at that time, but just get that commitment just because I have reached out so many times. So once I got that commitment, okay, cool, all set. So I hung up the phone. Sean and I got together and we put a plan, like an exact plan of action of what we wanted to do. So like a checklist and a timeline of exactly what we were going to do for him. So, hey, we're going to start with lead gen this way. We're going to create email campaigns for your current customers to get them to ask for referrals or to see if there's anything else that they need or anything else that they want. And because they're a current customer, they get some sort of a deal or special or promotion, something along those lines. And obviously, we have to work with the client on exactly what that looks like. But okay, here's a campaign for your current customers and what that looks like and how we're going to work. And then, okay, for new customers, all right, so this is what we're going to do is we're going to find people that are searching for plumbers in the area. So one of the things that Ollie and I actually have access to is we have some software where people can actually, like, we can actually see what people are searching within a certain geographical location. So like I can say Denver area and I can put in zip codes, and if somebody goes on Google and they search like plumbers or plumbing or water issue or something like that, I can see who they are, name, email, phone number, stuff like that. So then what we do is we can search those people, and then we send them cold emails, but then we also retarget them on the meta ads. So then we put that plan together. Look, we're gonna target your current customers on the meta ads. We're going to create a campaign. We're going to talk to the new customers or people interested in plumbing that don't necessarily know you but are searching for plumbing services. We're going to show them meta ads on their Facebook and their Instagram, and then we're also going to send them cold emails. And then we're going to help you create your Facebook and Instagram account and set up ManyChat for auto reply and things like that. So we walked through all of that and created an entire plan for him. Then once we had that plan put together, so like Sean and I worked on this plan probably like about an hour. I would say the two of us together, like, going back and forth on what we were going to do, how we were going to do it, things like that. So we put that plan together. And then we called Omar back and we were like, hey, let's get together. Now we knew that this was going to be a closing. So we put the plan together and we put a proposal together. So we called him and he's like, you know what, look, I just can't meet right now. I got all this going on. So send me the proposal. Send me the proposal with the pricing. Now I told him the pricing on the phone. So I was like, look, this is what we're going to do. So like as a high level, so we're trying to schedule an in-person meeting. So we put the proposal together. We got him on the phone. I think I might have skipped that part. Sorry. We got him on the phone where we went over the proposal at a very high level. We didn't go into detail, but a very high level, like, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to set you up with this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then the pricing is going to be $750 a month for us to take care of this. But you also need to put $500 towards meta ads. So that way he knew right away, look, you're giving us $750, but you're paying Meta or, Facebook ads $500 a month, where we're going to be actually creating the ads and doing everything for you. And he was like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. But, I still need to know a little bit more. So like, send me the proposal and I'll get back to you. Now, I would say 99% of the time when somebody says, send me the proposal, I'll get back to you, it's done. Like you lost it. Like it's not going to happen. Game over. But with him, I felt a little bit different, specifically because he always said that he was interested, like always. So he never blew me off in any way, like on purpose. And he always got back to me. So I was like, okay, I think we can make this happen. So I sent him not the full proposal, like nothing with the signature, but just a breakdown of the proposal of like what the offering was and what we were going to do. No signature in it. The pricing was in it, but just so we had everything. So I sent it over to him and I was like, okay, cool. I called him. So I sent it. I called him, left a voicemail. That time I was like, hey, I just sent you the proposal. I sent him a text message. Hey, I just sent you the proposal. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's talk, or let's schedule a call, like an in-person meeting where we can go through this in person. And then I didn't hear from him for about 3 or 4 days. After that. And then I called him again, like, hey, let's get together in person. He answered, yes, you know what? Cool. Why don't you come to my house? And I was like, your house. Like, he didn't want to meet in a neutral location. He invited me to his house. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So he gave me his address. And before I agreed to go to his house, I was like, look, I sent you the proposal. I sent you the pricing and what we were going to do. Before we come out there, does this look good for you based off of where you want to go? So like, does this roadmap, like in that gap, like where he's at, where he wants to be, so does this roadmap align with what you want to do? And is the pricing fair, based off of what we were talking about? Does that work? If that's good, then we'll come out to your house and meet in person. And he said yes. So again, the soft close, so another soft close, like, yes, the proposal is good, the pricing is good, but I have a few more questions. I want to see the proof, of like what you've done so far. Awesome. So we scheduled it. So Sean and I drove out to his house. It was about like a 35-minute drive, not too bad. So we drove out to his house. And when we got there, it was nice. Like, he had a very nice house. It was very big. He had a lot of cars. They were like Mercedes, Lexus, those kind of cars. So it's like, okay, like, wow, like maybe 750 wasn't enough. That's my first thought, but whatever, it's fine. So we walked in the house, we talked to him, went through the proposal. Now, during this call, or during this in-person meeting, we actually did go through the entire proposal. I did bring it up to him exactly what we were going to do, how much we were going to charge. We brought examples of other stuff that we've done. Like, here's some of the other Facebook ad creatives that we've done. Here's like other email sequences that we've done. Not that it like meant detailed to him, but at least we brought proof that there's trust. Like, look, we have other clients. Here's what we've done for other clients, and this is the results that they've gotten. Here's what we can do for you now. And we're not going to promise results in month one because it's going to take a little while to get through marketing. So we made him do a minimum of a 3-month commitment. But one of the things that Rob teaches, and it's part of his proposal, is that first 30 days. So we did tell him, and it's written into the contract, like after the first 30 or within the first 30 days, if for any reason that you do not like what we're doing. Now, I made it very clear that we're not promising that we're going to get him any leads or any sales within the first 30 days. Made that very, very clear. I'm not promising anything, but what I am promising is that we're going to build the campaigns. We're going to set up your Facebook. We're going to set up your Instagram. We're going to do all of this basically onboarding work for the month one. If you don't like what we've done or the work that we've done for you after the first 30 days, then we'll just give you that money back. Whatever. Like, we're not actually spending any money yet at this point in time. So it's not like we're out any money. We're just out time if he doesn't like what we've been doing. So that's the process that I'm in right now, because I did close in last week. So we're within that 30 days currently, but and he said it multiple times in the in-person meeting. He's like, look, if I'm not happy with this, I can get all 750 back, right? And I was like, yes, you can. Now, he asked that a couple times. So I knew that it all led back to the trust. Like, and that's why I knew that I had to give him that 30-day guarantee, because he just needed to know that it was safe for him. Like, he needed that safety blanket. So that's why I was like, how I build that trust is like, look, 30 days, give you all that money back. You're not going to have to, do anything. Like, you're not going to have to put any money into Meta until you're ready. And that's your credit card. This is your Facebook account. So he was kind of concerned that like we were going to take control over stuff. So in the proposal, I made it very clear that it was his data. It was his information. It was his Facebook account. And he's just giving us access. We're helping him set it up, but it's all his information. And after the first 30 days, if he did want to cancel and he wanted all of his money back, we would give him everything. And actually, that's written into the proposal. So I'm going to pull that up. That's the one thing that I do have ready to go to show you. So this is the proposal, and it did start from Rob's proposal generator. Now, I did modify it from there, so it's not exactly, so it might look a little bit different. But here you go. Here's the name. And I did take off the information because this is public. So here's the situation. Here's what's going on with him. Here are the objectives of what he wants to do. We qualified the exact success metrics of what we're looking at. We put together an exact schedule of what we're doing. So again, this is a 3-month proposal. So he's going to have to give us 750 every month for 3 months. Now, we're not guaranteeing results at all. No results guaranteed. But we know we're going to get results. So the commitment, so what our commitments are, so what he needs to do. So the stuff I need from him is like a couple of email addresses, the exact scope of work. So, and this is everything that we've talked about. Ongoing social media management, AI-powered lead generation, conversion systems. So the review generation, I'd even talk about that. So the Klimbo, so review. So we're going to help them with custom QR codes to get more reviews. So like, think about it like if a plumber comes into your house, they do a good job. They show their phone, hey, leave us a review. And then there's a QR code that you scan, you leave a review, and then we automatically drop that into Facebook and Instagram. So kind of cool from that. And then here's that guarantee. And I made it very clear on this guarantee, like, look, 100 days or 30 days, 100%, all of your money back. He needed to see this trust in it. And I know that I needed to have this. And I spent a little bit of time on this in person, like at his house, what he had like Disney on, like, Mickey and Minnie were on because his daughter was in the, playing in the room. So like his daughter was right there as we were talking. She was watching TV. So it was kind of interesting on that, but he needed to see that. So that's what I did. And then here's your investment, $750 a month to me, like me and Sean, like our company, $500 that you need to pay directly to Meta, And then I needed 2 email addresses from him. So he has to give me $15 per business email address so that I can send out cold emails that way. So again, his total investment and the first 30 days and exactly what he needed to go with everything. And by the end of that conversation, he was like, yep, done. He signed off, said, I'm good to go. Let's move forward. And that was it. So the total number of times that I actually had to interact with him from the very first time that I brought up my business, so not the first call where I, said, hey, they have a plumber come to my house, but the one where I brought up my business up until the closing in-person meeting. Guys, take a guess that Ollie, don't answer. You might know the answer. How many days, not how many text messages or how many phone calls, how many days did I communicate with him of a 35-day time span? Take a guess on how many days. What do you guys think?
15?
15? 12? All right. You're both lowballing it. A billion? Well, not quite a billion, Dan. 22. 22. So of 35 days between talking and closing, 22 of those days we had communication, like either a text message or a phone call or both. So some of those days were both. So that's how many times it takes to reach out to somebody. That's how many touch points they need. And I hear a lot about this from other people. So the group that Ollie, I know it says Daniel, but the group that Ollie and I are in together, that coach talks a lot about even if somebody's interested, it takes anywhere between like 7 to 20 touch points to get somebody to buy from you. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't realize, is that even if somebody says they're interested, you still have to reach out to them. Now, if somebody is like, yeah, whatever, and like, oh, you ghost me, and they don't talk to you for like a week or something like that, people are just busy. Like, that's it. They're interested. And as Ali said earlier, just keep reaching out to somebody until they say, stop talking to me. And that's why within the community, my avatar is a shark, within the Innovating with AI community, because once I have interest in something, once I smell, like figuratively smell blood, meaning that I smell interest from a prospect, I am not going to let that prospect go until they tell me, go away, unsubscribe, or yes, I will buy from you. Like, that's it. If anyone expressed interest. So I have people that I've been talking to for months and months that I'm still reaching out to. And the second person that I ever did a proposal for, this was like a year and a half ago. I have a follow-up meeting with her, not next week because I'm on vacation, but the week after that, I have a meeting. So like, because I didn't let it go, like I did a proposal, she ghosted me. I've been emailing her over the last year and a half. And finally, I got something new and she's like, ooh, I'm interested. Let's have a meeting. Come to my swim school. I'm like, awesome. So again, she never told me unsubscribe. She never said stop. She expressed interest and then she ghosted me. I just kept reaching out. So that would be one of the things is like, just don't give up. If somebody expresses interest, don't feel bad for them. Like, oh, I don't want to bother them. They forgot about you already. Like, unless you keep reaching out to them and talking to them. So that would be my biggest piece of advice for this. So, and that's my story. I don't know. Does that resonate? Does that help you guys at all in any way?
It's good to know like how much persistence is required.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were talking before you started the recording, like I've been at this for like 6 months in Rob's program, and still don't have my first AI client. And it's like, and I've got a couple that are like, that were like verbal yeses, but then, but now I'm onboarding a new person, so I don't want to do this discovery thing until after we get that person on board, so like hold tight, and so I'm just like, it's like this constant like delay and wait, and now something came up and whatever, and it's like, it's hard to hold the faith.
Yep. Just don't give up. Keep reaching out to them. Keep reaching out, do different value. I think Rob talks about this, but like, it's not like, hey, let's book this thing, but like show value. Hey, I saw this, or I did this, or look at this cool new problem that I figured out how to solve. Now, maybe not, it might not directly relate to them, but at least they know that you're still doing it, that you're still trying, that you're still working, and you're getting in front of them. So they are keeping you top of mind as much as you can, or as much as, I don't know.
Awesome.
All right. Well, yeah. Any other questions, or like, was this helpful at all?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, just making sure. Like, yeah, I know it's kind of weird with this, but if there's something in here that can help, or is one idea, then it would be worth it to me. So I will put the recording in the community. Not that you guys are going to watch it, but maybe somebody else will. I don't know. With this, but yeah. So if you guys ever have any questions or need anything or want to work together, or whatever, let me know. Appreciate your time today, and thank you very much.
Thanks
All
for your
right.
time.
Awesome. See you guys later. Bye all.
Bye.